Continuing our reading in Abraham Hannibal and the Battle for the Throne by Francis Summers Cox. Today is chapter 4, Into the Unknown. The next morning, as the dawn light feebly began to shine through the portholes, the Star of the Sea set sail and made her way out from the little harbor into the open sea. Even Mr. Robertson, who was used to calendars and maps, had no idea, as the ship churned through the waters, of where they were or what day it was. Though the dawn light shined every morning through the starboard portholes, and the evening sun glowed from the port side, told him that they were going north. Andrew and Elizabeth had already discovered that if they stood on their father's shoulders, they could see out of the portholes, and the other two children soon copied them. But all they could see was empty sky, and sometimes the empty sea, if the ship was pitching that way, or at best the smoky gray bulk of distant islands, or perhaps the mainland of Turkey. Every day's food was more or less the same: water and some flat bread in the morning, piles of some yellowy, grainy stuff, and some grisly, bony goat stew in the middle of the day, and a bit more water and bread in the evening. Twice they came to shore to get water, they supposed, but as none of the prisoners were allowed out of the hold, it didn't make much difference. Only the weather changed. Days when the ship swooped onward, fast and smoothly. Days when she pitched and lurched in violent gusts of wind. Days when it hardly moved at all, and the air down in the cargo hold grew hot and heavy and stale. But there were no more bad storms. In between meals and sleeping and peering at the view, Abraham and Naganga showed the other children how to play their favorite game, on a board scratched on the floor with charcoal, and sometimes Mr. Robertson or even the other Franks had a go. And then Andrew and Elizabeth showed the other children how to play a game called chess, and Mr. Robertson kept interfering and helping whoever was losing. Abraham showed Andrew and Elizabeth and Naganga how to write their names in his own alphabet, the one that he had learnt when he was still living at home in Ethiopia, marking out the swirling, twisting letters on the floor with scraps of charcoal, but they refused completely to learn the whole alphabet. 240 letters? What do you need so many for? 26 is plenty. And Andrew and Elizabeth taught the other two children their alphabet, all 26 letters. Although Abraham did feel surely only of the letters that came up in their own names: Elizabeth, Andrew, Naganga, and Abraham. When it was too dark for writing or games, there were stories, of course. They all had them. And Mr. Robertson was kept busy translating between Arabic and English, or Arabic and French, if some of the sailors wanted to take part. And somehow the ship's dark cargo hold seemed a happier place than before Abraham and Naganga were thrown down into it at Goat Island. And that is the end of chapter 4.